How's it going, guys? It's your boy Stas here. Cheers, by the way. I appreciate all of you for tuning in. As always, as believe it or not, the stock market is bouncing back again. Check it out. This is SPY right here, currently up not much, 0.1%. I mean, look, we're barely in the green, but the intraday bounce back says it all. Look, earlier this morning, we were actually deeper in the red. I think the S&P was down over 1%. We hit 653 on SPY, and now we're up $10 off that low. And even though QQQ's down, this was down even more. It was down to 590 this morning, guys. At one point, we were down 2%. We were down 2%, and now we're down only 0.25%. So the intraday rebound has been remarkable, right? We're up across the board here, and a lot of this has to do with Powell speaking right now. He's speaking, I believe, at the Philadelphia Federal Reserve or something like that. I forget exactly. I was just reading this literally 5 minutes ago. Either way, he's speaking right now, right, live, and that's pushing the market up a little bit, or just causing volatility in general, right? But it seems like here, I think he started speaking at 12:20. We can see here 12:20 p.m. East Coast time. QQQ went from 600 to about 602, 603. So we have been rallying since Powell started speaking, right? And again, every index in the U.S. market is up except for QQQ, which we can't dog it too much considering the big intraday rebound. So we're going to cover the indices quickly. Obviously, we're going to break down Sofi as well, which as of now, on a side note, and we'll talk about this more in a second, Sofi is actually up about, 2% on the day right now, 50 cents in the green, and it's actually taken out the highs from yesterday, ever so slightly, but it is, right? So we're going to break down Sofi today, obviously, like you guys saw in the title. But first, I want to show you quickly the indices here. And I want to show you how, even though we're up on the day, we're actually not fully breaking out of the highs from yesterday, right? Yesterday, we hit about intraday here. It looks like we hit, where do we hit? 665-ish, right? On SPY. And that's where we're getting hit right now in real time. Literally, we hit 665 about 5 minutes ago. We hit it in the aftermarket yesterday, pre-market yesterday, intraday yesterday. So clearly, there's resistance there, right? So we're not fully breaking out of there yet. And man, I need some freaking water. I don't know what's going on. Maybe because I just ate right before this video. Probably not the best thing for me to do, but let's take a look at QQQ now. Let's see if this is breaking out of the highs from yesterday. It's not. It's actually not. QQQ's at 601.20 right now. Yesterday after the bell, we hit 604. Intraday, we hit 603-ish, right? So, yeah, we're rallying. It looks pretty good on the day. Powell's speaking, but the reality is, man, we're not fully breaking out. We're not. And unless we see this go above, 605, start going to 610 on QQQ, we're not going to be breaking out until we see that point. And SPY needs to break in the very short term 665, right, which we're pretty much at it right now. And the reality is, man, hey, if we do break that point, we could fill the gap right back to where we were Friday in the short term. That's the reality, but we're not really confirming that yet. And quite frankly, I don't think that's going to happen. I still think that today's rally could be a fake out. We talked about how yesterday's rally was a fake out. We dumped a good amount today in the morning, right? So we were down this morning. Don't be surprised if that were to happen again. So going over here to Sofi, this thing is starting to push ever so slightly above the highs from yesterday. By the way, guys, hit the like button. Make sure to subscribe. Follow along for more content. Almost forgot to say that. I think 50% of you guys watch the videos, but you're not subscribed, and that needs to change. So make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, that follow button. I appreciate you all as always. So Sofi at this point, it's not breaking out fully out of the highs, but it's peaking out slightly, right? And we could draw this out here, $27.80, $28 a share. That's a big resistance on Sofi. And if we look here, if I zoom, or not even zoom, but draw this trend line out, we can see $28.75 was a big resistance here, right? A couple days ago, trading days ago, we hit this point. Another point of resistance at about 28.75. So that could be where the gap fills. The next gap to fill could be from $27.80, $28. If we break out of that in the short term, we could be filling this gap to 28.75. So we could have a nice dollar push here in the stock. And now we're up 2.5%. We're running more as I'm making this video, and we're gaining some momentum past 27.80, which is good in the short term. And look at the intraday, man. This looks like the bulls are alive and well. We're up about $2 intraday here from the low, about 7-8%. That's a big move, about 8% there. So at this point, man, Sofi, it looks a little wonky, let's be honest, on the 4-hour chart. But the bulls are fighting. There's no denying that. The bulls are fighting, and I'm going to set my alert at $28 a share. If that's able to break, again, we could be going $28.75, $29. That's what I'm looking at here. And going back to the 20-day chart, or to the 20-day chart for the first time, we can almost see a cup and handle a little bit. You guys see it right here. We have the cup. We have the handle. If this starts to, again, it goes back to 28. If it starts breaking 28, 28.50, this cup and handle starts to play out, this could be finding its way back to $30 a share. And I'm telling you, I said this on Friday, I'll say it again, if we never got this, tweet from Trump, right, I think Sofi would already be at $30 right now. If you guys look at it on Friday, it was breaking out. I mean, this thing was at $30 on Friday pretty much in the morning. Then we got the tweet, and then boom, it all went south. But yeah, I'm convinced that if we didn't get that tweet, we'd be somewhere right here, $30, $31 right now, or maybe $29.50, right around there. I think we would be there, but, that didn't happen. But yeah, man, that's kind of what's going on right now on Sofi. I'm watching that $28 level. If that breaks, I'll be glad to trade it there. Let's see what other stocks are moving. Oh my goodness, man. SoundHound AI, what a beast this stock is. We called this out weeks ago at like $13, and man, it has come up a massive amount. Now I'm like, there's no need to FOMO into it. I feel like it's overbought now. It's arguably a point to take profits at the stock where it's at right now. But yeah, if it pulls back, this could be a nice buy the dip opportunity. We have stocks like Roblox today, up 6.5%. This is obviously, looks like to me at least, it's continuing the uptrend. We're trying to break out of here, right? We're up about, again, 6.5%. So RBLX looks good. OKLO, guys, I'm going to lose my mind. This thing is insane. We're at $180. It hit 182, and no, I did not short it yet. I'm still watching it. Obviously, this is like playing with fire, right? We're up another 5.5%, $10 a share, all-time high. And did I not say yesterday, I was like, if this thing gets another pump to 175, 180, I'll consider opening up a short or buying puts. Here we are. We're there. We're at 180, and it's like, I'm still nervous to open up puts. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm watching this. Yesterday I said, if it goes to 180, I'll buy puts. Now it's at 180, and I'm like, maybe not yet. I don't know, or maybe I should scale into the puts. But this is getting nuts, man. I think, especially if it gets to 185, 190, heck, even here, we're due for a pullback, right? It's obvious, but sometimes with crazy momentum stocks that are in a hot sector, it might not happen when you think. It might not be so obvious. Because look, last time we saw a huge breakout, if we look at, this breakout right here, if you guys take a look, it went from $70 to about $100 in like 2 days. You could have been like, all right, now's the time to buy puts here. And then your face would have got ripped off as it went to 155. It went from literally $97, and at that point, it was already up like 30% in 2 days, and went from 97 all the way to 150. It went up another 50%. So whenever you think a stock, especially a hot momentum play and a hot sector, whenever you think a stock can't go up more, right, in the short term, It could. It could. The reality is it could, and it might. That's the reality with OKLO here. And yeah, we're going to get a monstrous pullback, right? We're going to get a monstrous pullback. It's coming. But timing it is key. When you're shorting, when you're buying puts, it's not just about being right on the direction. That's half of it, right? You got to be right on the timing. So the timing here, I don't know if it's there yet, honestly, because what if we don't get a drawdown in the overall market again? What if we just got a little 2-day volatility and now we're going back to all-time highs? OKLO could go to 200. You know what I mean? It could go a lot higher. So I'm being careful, but I'm still eyeing up those puts. I'll be honest, I'm still eyeing them up. But yeah, we'll see how it goes, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And by the way, if you want to keep up with what I'm doing in my Patreon portfolio, my real money portfolio, guys, it's linked down below. Or go to stocksurfs.com/Patreon. Also, it's in the comment section, and I literally buy stocks every week. We're depositing money, $500 every Monday. I literally threw in $2,000 on Friday, and we're buying stocks, man. I'm showing you how I run a portfolio, how I'm building wealth long term. It's all on Patreon, right? Link down below again in the comments. And with that being said, cheers. I'll catch you all in the next video.